Oh, that's big. Need to make that smaller. Is there a way I could like, scale the window? Yeah, there we go. Yay! I don't know why I wasn't scaling the window before. Did I like? There we go. Now it actually moves properly. All right. Looks like everything's good. Let's get on to the stream. Hello everyone, it's me, Wolfter97, and today, as you could probably tell from looking at the title of this stream, as well as the actual stream itself right now, there's currently 5 big words on the screen, as you could likely see, and that's going to be the main talking point of today. We are going to be a little bit more focused now. Although, of course, in typical Wolfter97 fashion, we will most definitely go off the rails as per usual, because that's just how we roll. But we're going to try and focus narrowly on the task at hand, and that is the Persona concert, which happened over the weekend, this past weekend, in Los Angeles, California, specifically Hollywood. It was the Persona Live 2026 Awakenings concerts. And there was 3 of them. There was one on Friday, there was 2 on Saturday, one at 3 p.m. and one at 8 p.m. Yours truly went to the one at 3 p.m. And yeah, I just want to give my thoughts, my impressions, my experiences, as well as pros, and also I would like to talk about the cons that I've had with the concert, because while I was really hyped leaving that theater, I did also have a few things that kind of irked me a little bit, I guess. But we'll get to it. We'll just go through the entire thing. Sorry, I just turned down the music for a little bit. But yeah, so the Persona concert, for those who don't really know too much about it, it mainly focused on Persona 3 and Persona 5. So there was no Persona 4 in sight. I was kind of thinking maybe they'd pull something out, but they actually didn't. They surprisingly, they decided to not capitalize on that Persona 4 revival hype, and they just, they kept Yu Narukami's mouth shut the entire 2 or so hours that this concert went on for. But yeah, it was Persona 3 and Persona 5, but it was like 2 halves. So for the first half of the concert, it was Persona 5, and I don't know if I should really give a rundown, because there's already a full video uploaded on YouTube of the concert. You could watch it. It was of the 8 p.m. showing on Saturday, so unfortunately you won't be able to hear my beautiful voice, which you wouldn't be able to hear it in any video anyways, because I sat over on the I sat in the third row. And I didn't look into the seats that I got, but I managed to sit in the very, very last row. Not only was I on the highest, the highest seating possible, but I was also, so I was literally the last, one of the last people that you would ever even think to see over there, because of just how far back I was. But it was okay. I gotta give the venue props though. Dolby Theater, I've never been there before, but just the way it was laid out, the architecture, the way that the levels were they were made, it was far, but it didn't feel far, if you could really understand what I'm saying. Hi Disboy, welcome to the stream. I'm currently talking about the Persona concert, which happened over the weekend in Los Angeles. Currently I'm talking about the venue though, because I've never been to Dolby Theater besides this concert, so this was my first time. I gotta say, it was quite bougie. Of course the actual inside of the concert hall was bougie, but everything else was just it was pretty typical. It kind of felt like I was walking into a movie theater, which, I mean, it is a theater. I'm pretty sure people use it for movies and stuff, but I do know that that's where they film award shows and stuff. So damn, a Persona concert in the same place that they hold I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's the Academy Awards. I might be wrong. The biggest question is, did you bring an evoker? Also, hi, Emersona, and no, I did not bring an evoker. In fact, I didn't really bring much of Persona merch at all. In fact, I didn't bring any Persona merch really. Because I wanted to cosplay, I really did, because I do have the Shujin Academy blazer. I also have the pants. Well, it's not like the actual Persona 5 pants, but it is like, you know, it's plaid. It's as close as I could have got at the time, because at that time, I think... Because I know I was getting ready for AX, and I didn't really have that much time, so I just did some like cheap pants that I could find off Amazon. But I had all that, but unfortunately, your boy's gotten a little plump over the past 3 or so years, so I don't fit in that cosplay anymore. So all I did was I brought my my vest, which my girlfriend so graciously embroidered the Shin Megami Tensei like pentagram onto. It wasn't for this, it was for when I went to AX in 2023, because that's when they had the SMT concert. Hi, dumb user. Hello. Yeah, sorry for the long wait. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chance over the weekend to really do a stream or anything. I honestly considered just like recording, because I was walking around a bit yesterday on Sunday, because I was staying near a place that had a Costco, so I walked over to the Costco to get some food, because YOLO. But I was considering recording like a video and just giving my thoughts like that, but I felt like that wouldn't be, you know, that wouldn't do it justice. This is something magical. This is a event that requires a whole dedicated stream for. That's cute. What? Really? Wait, you haven't seen that vest? Hey Nick, welcome. We're going to be talking about the Persona concert. Currently I'm going off topic right now, but yeah, you haven't seen the vest? I swear I thought I've posted about it before. I mean, I could probably put like a picture up. I'll have to scroll all the way back to 2023 though, so 3 years. So give me a moment. Give me a good long moment. Okay, July. Where is it? Okay, this is not the best picture, but I guess I could throw it up there. Alright, send it to my computer. Saying the action was cute, but I do kind of remember. Oh, okay, well, you know, I already sent the picture, so I may as well just bring it up. But let's see, let's go into OBS. I could just drag it and drop it in, right? Let's try it. Okay, that's gotta be it. All right, so this is my back. We were walking towards the SMT concert. But yeah, that's what the vest looks like. For those who are not aware of it, or for those like dumb user who kind of remember. But yeah, this is what I wore for the concert, because I didn't really have any Persona stuff to wear. I wanted to wear the yellow Ryuji shirt, but I just didn't have any time to go get it because it was at my brother's place. The concert was fucking awesome, but I'll probably have to come back and watch the VOD. This is my last day. And oh, shoot, you're at Universal? Dude, have fun, man. I went to Universal 2 weeks ago, and it was awesome. It was great. But yeah, definitely come back. I do not want to take you from that, because Universal... It's been 12 years since I went to Universal. 2 weeks ago was like a long ass time since, so everything's changed. But yeah, definitely go have some fun, dude. I am not worthy of your time right now. I'll see you later, okay? But thank you for stopping by, though. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I wore this. So if anyone did go at 3 p.m. for the Persona concert and saw this vest and that beanie and that ass, well, that was me. But yeah, I'm gonna just... I may as well keep it up. You never know. Who knows? Maybe someone might be like, I heard something about vest. Can I see the vest? But yeah, I went totally off topic. I was talking about the freaking... I was talking about the Dolby Theater venue. Because I was like, we're gonna stay on topic here and talk about the concert itself. Anyways, let's talk about my seating. And Nick, thank you for the 26 months of being a member, showing off some really, really cute emotes that people like Nick, can have with membership. So if anyone's interested in using some pretty sick emotes like that, that's not the only one, by the way. There's many, many more. I think there's like maybe 8 or so. But if you want cool emotes like that, well, you know what you got to do. Is that theater around Hollywood? Yes, it actually is in Hollywood. It's kind of close by. It's close to the El Capitan, if you know what that is. That's a theater. Very, very descriptive. But that's also another famous theater over there in LA. And I believe it's very close to the Chinese theater over there in Hollywood. As well as, let's see, what are some other landmarks? I think Ripley's, believe it or not, it's in that general area. Also, the Taco Bell Cantina is really close by. We went after. I got myself a Twisted Baja Blast Freeze. Man, that hit hella hard. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I. Later, Wolfie. Later, Nick. Thank you for stopping by. I freaking loved the concert. And let's just get right to it. So, yeah, we'll just talk about the whole layout. So, like, for now. So, the Persona concert was laid out into, like, 2 halves. Like I said earlier in the stream, it was laid out in first the Persona 5 half, and then after the Persona 3 half. And then, after the Persona 3 half kind of, like, concluded, they, I think that's when, they had, like, the whole encore thing. You know how concerts are where they're just, like, they go off the stage and everyone's like, no, that can't be it, encore, encore. And then they start banging their seats and, like, pulling out their guns. But yeah, and then they had the encore, and that's when they kind of just brought everybody together. Because, you know, for the most part, Persona 5 and Persona 3 were separated. But until the very end, that's when they started to merge. And that's when I thought it was, like, super duper cool. Because you had freaking, I know there's a video on Twitter, but it's like of the Ryuji dancer and the Joker dancer. They were hanging out with Lotus Shoes. And then you had the Persona 3 dancers hanging out with Lynn. It was so cute. I've seen only around it, but yeah, the Walk with the Stars. Yeah, around, pretty much. It is on the Walk of Fame. But yeah, and after that, it was over. It was it felt, because I think it was like 2 hours, but it felt way shorter than that. And of course, that's because, you know, time flies when you're having fun, but it really didn't feel like it was as long as, because I think when I got out, it was like maybe 7:40 or something. So like not 7:40. I think like around 5:40, like 5. So like 2 hours and 40 minutes ish. But yeah, it didn't feel like that. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I decided to get some merch before heading in. We went to go get we got the light sticks. I got a light stick, and I also got a patch. I guess I could show a picture of that. I took a picture of that, and I posted it on my Instagram. But I guess, you know, if I'm bringing stuff up, I may as well just bring up that too. So, all right, now I got to scroll. I scrolled 3 years back, and now I got to scroll 3 years forward. So give me a second. There we go. So I bought this patch right here, which I'm going to throw up on the screen right now. Okay, so I bought this one right here. And so we were talking about the vest. Can you guess where I'm planning to put that patch at? Take a wild guess. Those sticks look really cute. They are super duper cute. When I got mine, and I was trying to I was messing with it, and I was looking at it, and because you know they had the pull tabs that you have to take out so that way you could start using it. I pulled out the little tab, and I was having so much trouble with it. I was it's not turning on. I'm pressing the thing. It's not doing anything. And then I had to give it to the person that I went to the concert with, and they're just like, you know, in like 2 seconds, they just turn it on. I'm like, what the how did you do that? I legitimately thought that they didn't put any batteries in mine, because we were joking about that too, because we were both having trouble trying to get our light sticks to turn on, and we were just like, oh, dude, imagine if they didn't put any batteries in this. But they definitely would have not done that. They were able to put the batteries in for the SMT concert, so we were kind of confident. But yeah, I was just having some technical difficulties, i.e., skill issue of pressing a button or two. But yeah, that's the patch right there. I didn't take a I wish I took a picture of both these things. I was trying to take a picture of both of them, but I don't know where my light sticks are at. I hope to God I didn't leave them in LA. But I think I have a picture of the light sticks. No, I actually don't. I only have video of the light sticks. So just imagine a stick that has light. That's it. All right, so I'm gonna get this off the screen, and we'll talk a little bit more about the concert and the way it was handled. So, I was kind of curious about how they were gonna handle the Persona concert, because with the SMT concert leading up to it, they were like showing off like a lot of stuff. They were showing like people that were going to be performing. They were showing the musicians. They were showing the guitarists. They were showing like the vocalists that they had there, also MC. They were showing all of that. But with the Persona concert, it was kind of just like dead silence. Like, I think the only thing I really saw of the concert itself and like leading up to it was when Atlus posted like a picture on their Instagram, I think the day of, on Friday or on Thursday, of the venue, of the stage. And I was like, oh shit, I feel like this is the first time I'm hearing of it. And so I was wondering, I'm just like, they have to bring Lyn, as well as the Persona 3 Reload vocalist, and Lotus Juice from Japan. How are they going to handle bringing over an entire band? And, well, they handled it by not handling it. So, all that was really there was the vocalists and, like I stated before, the dancers. So they had dancers, 3 dancers each for the games. So for Persona 3, they had the protagonist, Yukari, and Junpei. And for Persona 5, they had Joker Ryuji and, of course, An. And that's it. Also, oh, hold on, I'm forgetting something. I'm forgetting another person that they had there as well, besides the dancers, as well as Lotus Juice and the Persona 5 and 3 Reload vocalists. They also had a guitarist there who was kind of sitting off in the wayside. He was like sitting in the back, like in the corner. And so everyone was like hanging out in the middle of the stage. Like, the vocalists, they were like hanging out, they were like moving and stuff, and the dancers were in the middle of the stage. Meanwhile, the guitarist. So I didn't, when I was looking at the guitarist, because he was so far away from the action, it kind of felt like he was being cucked from like everything, because like he couldn't really interact with anybody, because, he was kind of tethered to where he was at, because, he had an instrument. But yeah, there was no other people on stage outside of those 10 people. And I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of disappointed, because they did it with the SMT concert. They brought a whole band in to perform the songs live for us, and that's something they did for the Persona concerts in Japan. They actually had like musicians, guitarists, drummers, etc. performing the music. But here, they just had the music from the game, the actual tracks from the games without vocals, of course, playing for the background. And then, of course, everyone's just singing over it, singing and dancing, all that fun stuff. So it was honestly a letdown in that regard. I'm mixed with that. You're mixed with the fact they didn't have a band, because yeah, it's like, I was disappointed, but also I could understand why. It probably may have not been advantageous for them to bring over a bunch of people, because their bands that they had over there for the Japanese Persona concerts, they get pretty big. So maybe they just didn't want to have to bring all those people in. Like, I was about to say import, but they're not like goods or anything, but just like, trucking them over from like across the sea over here. So maybe that may have proved to be either too expensive or maybe just too much like manpower. So I don't know. Like, for me, if I'm at a concert, I wanted live music. And we didn't really get, I mean, of course we did get that. We got it with the vocalist and the guitarist, but the guitarist, like, by the way, the guitarist, for the entire time, I thought it was Shoji Meguro. Now, okay, so I think the reason why I thought that was because I was so far away. I was not only far from the stage, but I was also far from the screens too, because of course they had screens up there for the higher levels of the audience. But even because I was at the very back, I was at the last row, I couldn't really see the screens that well. So the entire time until they introduced him at the end, I thought it was Shoji Meguro. But no, it was hold on, we have a bag here with the name on it, so I want some flowers. Okay. His name is Toshiki Konishi, and I believe they stated that he's like a composer at Atlus. He helps with the Persona soundtracks, and yeah, but you know, he was playing, but there was also guitar in the songs already. So he was like playing guitar over the guitar in the songs. And, you know, when he did get his time to shine, because, you know, while a grand majority of the songs were, you know, vocal songs, they also, for like the Persona 5 portion, they had some songs. They had Keeper of Lust, and I believe, I don't know the other one, but it was a, I'll talk about that in a moment, but there were some instrumental songs where he was just able to go crazy, and those songs were actually really cool, and it just really made me wish that we actually had real musicians along with all the dancers and stuff. And by the way, there was like, so the dancers they got, the characters they got, you know, I feel like that's satisfactory, but the fact that we didn't have, like, we only had those three. We only had, you know, the protagonist, as well as, like, you know, the two closest, like, usually the two first people that they meet. We were missing, like, the entire party, you know. We didn't have, like, Akihiko or Mitsuru. I was hoping to see a Mitsuru dancer up there. We didn't have Mitsuru, we didn't have Shinji, we didn't have Kent, we didn't have any of that. We didn't have, like, it felt so lacking. And I don't know. It really, because that venue is like humongous, and that stage was pretty big. I don't know if it's that much bigger than the stage they had for the SMT concert, but there was just so much empty space because of how big the stage was and how little people there were. So it felt empty in that regard, and like it just had me wishing that they kind of went a little harder on this, and it felt almost embarrassing too, because they went hard for the SMT concert, you know, getting all the musicians and stuff, whereas with Persona, they did the bare minimum. They could have done a lot more, and I would expect a lot more for Persona. I've seen the vids, and I was also kind of surprised that they mainly used the screens. Yeah, and then, like, they would sometimes have, like, we were joking about it, they would have, like, VTubers come up, but it was really just, like, mocapped characters from the games. They had Joker come up for Persona 5, and then they have Aigis come up for Persona 3 to dance on the screen. And that was kind of cool, but also it was a little odd. I don't know. I don't really know. It was a little weird to me, but it was still cute nonetheless. And I feel like that word is probably the best way to describe the concert, and not in like a not using cute as like a derogatory term. I really did think that the concert was really, really adorable in many, many places. What with the screens with like Joker and Aigis dancing on them, but also with like the interactions. Like, while there was not that many people on stage, the interactions that they were having together were really, really fun and really adorable. And like I talked about earlier with like Joker and Ryuji hanging out with Lotus Juice, and Persona 5 vocalist Lin with you know, the P3 cast. That was cute. And also like some of the choreographed stuff they would do was really adorable. All of the Persona like dancers, they were all in character, and they they pulled it off to a T. I'm not gonna lie, I think I might have a bit more of a bias towards Persona 3, but I think that might just be because I don't really remember too much about the Persona 5 cast, because it's been ages, whereas Persona 3 Reload I played like 2 years ago. Well, almost 3 years ago. No, wait, Persona 2024. Yeah, 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. So more recent in my mind. But yeah, they were staying in character, and it made it so fun to watch them. Like there was always something to look at, even though the stage was very barren. There was always something to check out. And also the choreographed stuff. Their dancing was super cool. It wasn't incredibly like mind blowing or anything. They weren't like doing like epic backflips or like somersaults or like cartwheels or anything. It was very, very reserved, and some people might have some issues with that, but I thought it was cool, and it was able to serve the concert like perfectly. And also, like, having stuff like that, very, very reserved choreographs, it allowed the dancers to be able to do that with like the vocalists and stuff. And so there would be like instances where they'd interact like during the song, and they're like dancing with the vocalists, and I thought that was really cute. I remember with the Persona 3 side, I'm just biased towards Persona 3. I am so sorry. I just love Persona 3. It's my favorite Persona game. But when the moon is reaching out stars, that song has such a weird title, but they were like doing like a little dance where they like all came together, like the three dancers as well as the Persona 3 Reload singer. They all came together. They were like in a neat line right there, and they were just dancing, and it was like such a cute dance, and I was just I couldn't help but cheese the entire time during that song. I love that song, and just seeing them just like do that cute dance, I was just like, oh my god. And also I don't know what song it was, but Lotus Juice was there. It might have been Last Battle, Burn My Dread Last Battle. But he was also getting into it too. Dude, Lotus Juice got the moves. He's got some sick moves that he's pulling out, and I was like so freaking hyped whenever he would pull them out, because he was just like rapping and stuff. But when there was like downtime, he would throw out some fucking from tappers, dude, and I'd be like, whoa, dude, LJ, I didn't know you had it in you. And yeah, during Last Battle, there's like this moment where like they all congregate in the middle, and then the Yukari dancer like goes in front of them. Lotus Juice is like directly in the middle, and Yukari goes in front of them, right in front of Lotus Juice, and she like gets onto like one knee, I believe, while looking towards the audience, and she sticks up her hand, and then Lotus Juice so casually, he sticks his hand forward, grabs her hand, and then pulls her up back onto both her feet. And oh my god, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't wearing any panties, but if I did, they would have gotten soaked. He was spitting game, dude. Holy fuck. Just talking about it, god, I wish I recorded that. That was such an insane moment. And the person that I was with, they legitimately thought that was sexy. They thought that they were just like, holy fuck, that's hot. That is legitimately hot. Like, oh my god, they were like fanning themselves, and I was fanning myself too. But yeah, dude, I mean, of course, is it really a surprise that Lotus Juice got game? That he's got that swag? It is hot. It's but okay, we're not gonna simp for Lotus Juice already. All right, I already did that enough when he dressed up as Chie that one time. But yeah. Also, I forgot to mention, I was gonna say it, but I kind of wanted to leave it like as its own thing. But they did Persona 5 and Persona 3, but they also did Persona 5X songs. So Persona 5X, the mobile game, the gacha game, they did some songs from that, and I appreciate that they tried to include. They did, yeah, they did. I appreciate they didn't try to include it because it is Persona 5. It kind of makes sense that they would throw it in, but it just felt really like, because they didn't have any dancers for Persona 5. X. So like when they would do those songs, it's just like it didn't really match. It didn't really like it. There was no cohesion really. It just because we all know about Persona 5X, right? Everybody in that room most likely had like at least a general understanding of it, but yeah, it felt really underbaked, and I think a lot of the people knew that, like a lot of the audience, because there was not that much hype during those songs, and I felt really bad because like they didn't sound like bad songs or anything. I don't know much about the songs except for maybe the intro theme for 5X, but yeah, such a strange inclusion for them to do, but I won't lie, I do respect it, so good on you, Atlus, for trying to, you know, I guess, spread the word of Persona 5X, but it felt like they could have done a little bit more with it, but yeah, maybe they just didn't want to do that much, because there was only like maybe 3-ish songs or something from that game, and I think one of the instrumental songs was from that game too, because I know the guitarist, Toshiki, who apparently he goes by Konitan, which I think is really cute. And I remember when they were introducing him, someone in the crowd was just like, Konitan. And then the people up there on the stage, I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was the Persona 5 vocalist or the 3 Reload vocalist, but they fed into that chant, and everyone was like, Konitan. Konitan. I thought it was super cute, and he looked really reserved too, so I thought it was adorable. It was such a cute concert. But yeah, what was I gonna say? I know it was about Persona 5X, but yeah, Persona 5X, it was cool that they included it, but I don't know. It's strange, very strange inclusion, but good on them. Seating, what about it? Seating as in like where I sat, or like just like seating in general, like if it was packed or anything, because I talked about it already, but my seat was on the 3rd floor. It was the last floor, the highest floor, and I was in the way back. I was in the last row. But despite that, I talked about and I guess that's why I was going off on a tangent with Dolby Theater earlier, but the way that the whole theater is arranged, it didn't feel like I was far. Like, I knew I was far, but it didn't really feel like it because of the way that it was very narrow. I thought you had problems. I mean, I kind of had problems, like, when it came to seeing, like who the guitarist was. Like I said, because I was so far away, I thought it was Shoji Meguro. But honestly, outside of that, I thought the seating was fine. I thought it was great because of the way that the Dolby Theater is laid out. Because I know with the SMT concert, I think that actually might, you know, I don't think the Novo really has that much issues in regards to the way it's laid out. I think it was just because where I was sat, because I think I was sat close to like a gate. There was like a gate in front of us. So I think that might have made it a little bit more difficult to see. But yeah, honestly, no issues at all with seating. I was fine where I was sat. I wish I could have been like closer. I really regret not splurging a bit and getting like closer seats on the 1st floor or something. But those were expensive. The seats that I paid for were only $60-something. 60-something, 2 seats, so like $120-something altogether. Gotta include tax, I guess, so maybe like $130. Did you walk anywhere else after the concert? Yeah, I actually did. Well, I may as well talk about, you know, the whole thing, the whole experience. But after the concert, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of knew that there was people here at the venue, and you know what I mean when I say people here. I mean people from the Persona community, because I know LaRue went to the Friday concert, but apparently he was invited by Atlus to the 3 p.m. concert, the one that I went to, so I knew he was there. I know another one of my mutuals was there, and I think SMT Network either went to the 3 p.m. or the 8 p.m. one. Oh, and I know there's that guy on Twitter. I think his name is Ultima. I know he's a part of the Persona community as well. There was a lot of people there. There was a lot of people from the community that were taking part in the festivities. But while I was leaving the venue, while I was walking through everything, I was trying to keep an eye out for people because, you know, like I know that, like, I don't fully know them, but like we're mutuals and stuff, and I wanted to keep an eye out for those people and just, you know, see if I could, you know, give some hellos and, you know, meet them for the first time in person. I know I kind of fucked that up in 2023 when I totally flubbed my chance to be able to go to the Megaten meetup at Anime Expo. But I was trying to keep an eye out for them, especially since some of them were flying in. If I was there, I would be hidden. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if you did go and you were hidden, but I mean, I guess maybe everyone was like in different places. I know there was like some people, like I know the Ultima guy, he was out there like in the grass, like in the AstroTurf area. Apparently people were hanging out on the first floor, and that's like where most of the people were at. And it's like, what? I didn't see anybody. And I remember because we ended up walking over to the Taco Bell Cantina, like I said, right after the concert, because I wanted to get myself a Twisted Baja Blast Freeze, which I did get. I didn't get a yard. I thought about getting it, but I honestly didn't really want to get sloshed, especially since, you know, we still plan to do some other stuff after. But I walked over there, and then while we were sitting down and, you know, having our little quiet time, we kind of, you know, needed to be able to take this chance to just be able to sit there and just marinate in the concert that we had just experienced. But yeah, I was looking on Twitter and I was seeing people, and people were like posting like pictures and stuff. I'm like, what? This was like right after too. So I'm just like, where the fuck is everybody? What? I didn't see anyone. I saw literally not a single person. And I felt like almost betrayed in a way. It wasn't betrayed, but it's like I was like trying to keep an eye out for people, but yeah, maybe I just don't have good eyes or anything. There was a lot of people, so that probably made it a bit more difficult to be able to, you know, link up with anyone. But, you know, even if I wasn't able to link up with anyone, it was still fine because, you know, I was mainly there for the concert. Being able to see people would just be like the cherry on top. Or being recognized. I know the person that I was with, they were joking like, dude, what if like you freaking... What if you get recognized for the thing that you did? And I was like, no, highly doubt that. No one will ever be able to figure out that I did that meme. I'm pretty sure most people forgot about that meme. There is no way in hell. But speaking of that meme, I I have to talk about. So during Mass Destruction, during the P3 portion of the concert, Mass Destruction just came up, and when it started, I actually didn't know it was Mass Destruction because I couldn't hear the baby part, which, you know, that's what's supposed to clue you in. But when it started, I was like super clueless, and I'm just like, oh, this is a song, I don't know what this is. And then it went into da, 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 and I was like, oh, what? This is Mass Destruction? No freaking way! And then, like, you know, we were all rapping to it, we were all singing to it, but on my side, on my right, I didn't notice, but the person that I was with, they pulled out their phone, and I don't know how they did it, but they timed the video that I made, the Persona 3 Twitter meme, they timed it perfectly to the music. So all the lyrics were in time, everything was in time, and like they were just like, they were prodding at me, and they were like, dude, and I was like, what? And I'm like, and then I looked at their phone, I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? What are you doing? And like, at that moment, I was just like, okay, I think I know what I have to do. That's a new iconic. Yeah, we were inspired because we were talking about it on the way over. We were just like, did you ever hear about like those... And I was saying this to them, but I may as well say this to you guys as well. But do you guys know about those videos where people are going to like concerts? And I think there's one for like a 30 Seconds to Mars concert where like a person pulls out like a Call of Duty, like a Call of Duty video or something, like, you know, showing off like trick shots and stuff, and it was like put to the kill. but they were playing that video alongside the live performance from 30 Seconds to Mars. I love them too. They're so funny. And then there's the Breaking Benjamin Halo 2 one, which yeah, we were talking about that, and then we are just like, dude, what if one of us just like took out the video and just like did like recorded like the phone and then the concert at the same time? And apparently the person I went with, they took that seriously, and they were just like here you go, this is what you're talking about. I'm like, oh, okay. So at that moment I was like, am I just gonna enjoy this for myself, or am I, the fuck no, I'm not gonna enjoy this for myself. So I took out my phone. I recorded Mass Destruction for a little bit before that, but I took out my phone and then I started recording it. And hey, Briggs Game Time, how are you? I'm doing good, thank you for asking. What about you, man? I'm currently talking about the Persona 3 concert, but I mean the Persona concert, Persona 3 and 5 concert. But right now I'm currently talking about a little funny event that happened during it, where the person that I went with, they brought out their phone, and during the song Mass Destruction, they brought out the video that I made, the Persona 3 Twitter video, and they had it playing alongside the concert in time. But yeah, I pulled out my phone and I started recording it, and I was trying to record it like the other videos that I mentioned, like the 30 Seconds to Mars and the Breaking Benjamin Halo 2 video. And I was like trying to like figure out like the composition. So in time, in real time, I was trying to figure out how to compose this video. I was like, okay, what do I do? Do I swing from the concert to the phone, or do I have both the concert and the phone together the entire time? And like, but then like I managed to, I figured it out. I'm just like, all right, so you know, I'm gonna have the phone, and then I'm gonna look at the concert, and when it gets to this part where it says Shadows and Mass Destruction, I'm gonna whip back over so that way it you know, matches perfectly in time, and then like leads into the ooh yeah da 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 da. And that was magical. We were giggling, we were cackling like freaking hyenas, like the ones from Lion King. It was it was legitimately probably one of the standout point from that concert. Just how freaking crazy that came about. Right next to the part where Lotus Shoes picks up Yukari and then makes me wet. I'm looking forward to if Atlus actually drops Persona 6 news, or if they do another Persona spin-off. Yeah, I'm looking forward to just anything Persona related. I thought they were going to drop some news. So my initial thought was they're gonna drop some news for each and every concert. They're gonna drop unique news. So like they're gonna drop like a trailer for Persona 4 Revival for like the Friday concert, and then like the last concert on Saturday. Then maybe they'll drop like the Persona 6 like teaser trailer, kind of like what they did with Persona 5, where it's just like chairs or something light, something to just give us to tease on. But they dropped nothing. All they really did was they promoted this Persona 5 Tactica vinyl set from I Am 8-Bit, which cool, great, but also it's just, I don't even think they played any Persona 5 Tactica music, so it felt just like the Persona 5X music that they played during the concert. That felt really weird, ill-fitting as well. But you know, even if they didn't announce anything, I'm fine with it. I'm cool with it. Maybe they couldn't really figure out how to do it. Maybe they didn't have enough news to announce anything. But I was also thinking maybe they announced something like for the final concert, the 8 p.m. concert, the one that is probably the most important because it's the final last one. Forgot Persona 6 was a thing. Dude, I think Atlus did as well, because we haven't heard anything. They don't even call it by Persona 6. They just say, the future of the Persona franchise. My only wish is a remaster remake for 1 plus 2, but I'm fine with 6. Yeah, I really want 1 and 2 to get the recognition they deserve, and I'm sure like Atlus does as well. They probably just don't know how to do it, or they probably don't think that it's worth doing because of how archaic they are. But honestly, it's really not that bad. I was actually playing through Persona 1 like several days ago, just for funsies. First, I decided to try out Revelations Persona because I never did play that version. So, you know, I put it in the emulator and then I played it, and I'm not lying to you when I say that my jaw was on the floor from just how Revelations Persona, sorry, I almost called it Persona 1. It's Revelations Persona. But just the way that it played, it was so painful to play. I don't know how people tout this as the definitive way to play Persona 1, but it is, I'm just gonna say it's poopy. It's cockadookey. It's not fun. Hey Sharpentry, welcome to the stream. Currently we're talking about we were talking about the Persona concert. We're kind of going off of on like a tangent right now. I'm talking about Persona 1. Let's hope they announced the Lego Persona 2 remake. Dude, I'll make my own Lego Persona 2. Does anyone want to buy me some Legos? I'll make it myself. Lisa Silverman, my girl. I'm more of a Maya fan, but I understand the appeal of Lisa. Also, Yukino. Yukino's pretty base as well. I'd simp for her. Lego Sona. PP even. Oh, that might be pushing it. That might be pushing. It's not Rond. Definitely not Rond level. Rond is PP. Revelations Persona, I think it's poopy, cockadookey, but maybe not PP. Maybe not PP at all. But yeah, it's just so slow. The walk, like when you're walking, not just like in the 3D like dungeons and stuff, but like when you're walking out there on the world map, it's so slow. And it might just be because I'm used to the way that Persona 1 on PSP runs, but it was agonizing, and it blows my mind that people like defend that and they say like it's the definitive way to experience Persona 1 just because of the music in the PSP version of Persona 1 being not as good, which, you know, I can't you know, deny that some people won't like that, because it is a huge departure from what, you know, Revelations Persona sounds like. So I can't blame them. And, you know, it's you know, it's up to like every person, like whether or not they like that. It's personal taste. I just know 7 deadly sins are evil people to die. That's all I know about Persona. Really? Well, you know, if you stick around for a little bit longer, Sharpentry, you'll definitely learn a thing or two about Persona. Because I am the Persona guy. Just kidding. I'm not. I'm definitely not the Persona guy. I rarely, you know, I rarely like do anything with Persona now. But let's see. We went off on a hella huge tangent. Let's start back where we were at with Taco Bell Cantina. But yeah, I was looking at like Twitter. Everyone was hanging out, having fun, linking up. Meanwhile, I was sitting there with my twisted Baja Blast Freeze, feeling like a cuck. I couldn't meet anybody. It sucked. Even though some people were down to meet, they were just like, "Where were you? We were over here, dude. Everyone's on the first floor." And I'm like, "Fuck my life. I'm over here at Taco Bell Cantina." But, you know, it's fine. It's okay. It's whatever. And honestly, you know, when we left the Taco Bell Cantina, to and from the Taco Bell Cantina, but I want to emphasize more on leaving Taco Bell Cantina. But when we walked out, it felt almost like magical, because, you know, we walked out and we were just seeing like all these Persona fans just walking around. They had their cosplays on. You know, you're seeing Mitsuru walking around, Akihiko, Shinji. There was like a whole group of them. They were walking around. You're seeing people with like the merch walking around holding their light sticks. They got the bags. Seeing everybody, just seeing all these people. The person that I went with, they kind of said that it felt like a convention, and I felt like it felt more than like a convention. It felt like magic. It really felt insane seeing all of these people walking, because, you know, we were already like away from the venue, so seeing everyone just like, you know, scurry about, just like doing their own thing, walking around, it felt surreal. It felt like I was like a part of like a community, which I am, of course, but like like convention. I've been to conventions. I've been to AX. I actually went to one yesterday, Pasadena Comic-Con. Yay, woo. There was no Persona cosplayers there, surprisingly enough. But I've been to those conventions, and I've seen like many cosplays and stuff, and people walking around in cosplay. But it didn't hit the same as the concert did. And I'm pretty sure it's not unique to Persona. I'm sure, like, you know, people when they go to like a concert for Bruno Mars. Seeing people walking around with Bruno Mars shirts, it felt wonderful. It felt like I was a part of something. It felt like, you know, I was there, ground zero. It was blowing my mind. And then we ended up going to Little Tokyo after, and we were still seeing people. Granted, it's Little Tokyo, so there's going to be weebs everywhere. I did see a person wearing a FemC cosplay, and I complimented them on it, and they're like, "Cool, thanks." That was fun. But yeah, it was a wonderful weekend. It was great, and man, I'm not gonna lie. I'm still yearning for that. I'm yearning for that. It sucks ass to be back here in my shitty city. But you know what? That's what makes it magical. That's what makes it special. Is that it's not forever. It happens for like only a day or two, and then that's it. It's over and done with. And then you're sitting there with withdrawals while you're at the office, or you know, flipping burgers or something. And I know there's going to be another Persona concert, because these, I think they did sell out. I didn't really see that many empty seats. And I know there was like a few tickets on sale. God, they were so expensive. Dumb user, I was joking about getting another ticket, or getting a ticket for yourself, but kind of glad you didn't, because, man, the scalpers were out there. They were going crazy with those prices. But yeah, these were very successful concerts. So my guess is that they're probably going to have some more. If not this year, then definitely next year. And my guess is they're probably going to try and do East Coast, because, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of people over there in that time zone that are yearning to be able to engage in some Persona shenanigans. And I felt really bad for the people that had to fly, because I know one of them, my mutual, she flew in from Florida, and that sucks ass. And SMT Network, I don't know where they live, but I think they live in like middle of USA, I believe. But they had to fly in, and also there's like a snowstorm, so you know there's that danger too. Let's see. I'm gonna look at the comments, because I totally ignore them. Gonna practice playing keys in Rock Band, but we'll still be here. All right, Emersona, thank you for hanging out in the chat, and also thank you for having me in the background. Appreciate it. Glad that I could be your background noise for your practicing, your music lessons, if you will. Can you explain the Persona lore to me in 3 sentences? Okay, so Persona is about high schoolers, well, mainly high schoolers. There are some adults that gain the ability to summon these supernatural entities that are called Persona, that they use to fight enemies. Typically, I know in Persona 1 and Persona 2, it was like demons and stuff, but in Persona 3, 4, and 5, and beyond most likely, they're shadows. And usually it's like whenever they fight and stuff, at least in the modern games 3, 4, and 5, it's usually in either a different dimension, quote unquote, or a different time, like separate from like typical living hours where people are just like walking around and stuff. I know in Persona 3 it's like in a huge tower that grows like during this hidden hour of the night called the dark hour. And then like the main characters and stuff, they have to like traverse. And in Persona 4, it's in this place called the Midnight Channel, where you enter it by going into a TV and you fight shadows there. And in Persona 5, it's when you enter this other like alternate like reality or whatever called like the metaverse. And you know, they go into palaces and they fight shadows and all that fun stuff. But yeah, high schoolers with supernatural powers, doing cool epic things, fighting to save the world usually. I need to go, but nice hearing your experience with this concert. Bye. Thank you for stopping by, Dumb User. I appreciate it. And I'm glad that I could finally satisfy your curiosity of my experiences with this concert. Thanks, and I'll see you later. Persona in 3 sentences. Teenagers summon their inner demon. God doesn't like that, and that's why you're fighting God outside the local Burger King at 3 a.m. Pretty much like how Briggs, summed it up there. There are no Burger Kings, though, so most likely it's in front of the Big Bang Burger. But that's pretty much exactly what it is. It usually does reach a point where God's just like, hey, what the fuck? Maybe not God, but a God, you know? But I definitely recommend checking it out, Sharp Entry. It's a lot of fun. I don't know if you're into like Japanese role-playing games, JRPGs. It's kind of like that. It's also very, very heavy with anime tropes and stuff. But okay, let's see. What else am I missing from the Persona concert? I know I've harped on like the actual concert itself, but yeah, I just like the whole thing. It was just a lot of fun. It was so fun being able to, engage in something this niche with, even though it's really niche, there's like so many people. There's just the camaraderie, everybody gathering together in a single location, just, having fun. Everyone was singing along, at least to the songs that were in English. I was singing too. It felt so great. Thankfully, I didn't make myself even more cringe than I usually am, because I know with the SMT concert, I was like screaming, hooting, hollering. You would think I was drunk, but I was sober AF at the SMT concert. So I kind of brought back the energy a little bit. I didn't want to be too hyped and ruin anyone's like experience, but I was so freaking happy to be there. I was so excited, and of course there are some little issues that I had with the concert, like there not being a full band or anything, or just the stage not feeling like it was really taken advantage of, or other stuff like that. There's like other things that the fact that there was only like 3 dancers per game, that also felt a little underwhelming. It was underwhelming in some regards, but overall it was awesome. It was great. It was incredible. Definitely never gonna forget this experience. I probably won't even forget it after I die. That will probably be one of those like things that I'll bring in if I ever get like reincarnated, like into my new body. I'll just like wake up one day and I'll just be like, oh shoot, I went to that concert like a millennia ago or whatever. Man, I wish Persona was still a thing. But yeah, it was wonderful, and I'm looking forward to more Persona concerts. I'm looking forward to more Persona concerts and more SMT concerts. Atlas, please, more SMT, especially if you're gonna have live bands and stuff. More of that, please, 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 please. Also, we got to make sure that people over there on the East Coast, that they get their food as well, because man, I feel really bad for the people that had to travel. But yeah, more. Anyways, we're gonna reach an hour of streaming, and just like usual, everybody, I'm probably gonna call it here, because I pretty much exhausted my experience talking about the concert. So if there's anything that you want me to address, if you want to talk about your experience with the Persona concert, or just your experience with Persona in general, please speak now or forever hold your peace. The Persona 4 remake is going to have a Junes flavored boss, or at least I hope so. That would be cool, actually. There should just be a Junes like dungeon. They should make, because you know how you could go into Junes in Persona 4? They should make it an entirely like explorable location. That'd be a lot of fun. I'm joking about that, saying that right now, but that would actually be kind of cool if you could like explore like deeper in these locations, because especially if they're gonna let you have like an actual like third-person camera that's not fixed like how it was in Reload, because if they do that, they could do a lot more with the environments there, because that's one of the things I didn't really like about Persona 3 Reload, was just how faithful it was to a fault, where they had like the camera that was fixed, and like I understand why they did that, because it was like that in the original, but with like an actual movable camera that follows you around, you could actually like do some cool stuff, add some cool details. Like I wanted to see like what was beyond like just Paulownia Mall. Like I wanted to see what was out there. Like I wanted to see like what was going on outside of like the limitations of the sorry, of like Port Island Station. Like I want to see like the ocean. I want to see the water, but yeah, couldn't do that with fixed cameras. But oh well, the game itself altogether was still really, really fun. I fucking love Neon White, and that is the most tropey anime game ever. Well, if you like that, then you're most definitely going to love Persona. Persona is going to be the series for you. But yeah, it's up to if you like role-playing games, turn-based role-playing games. I know that Fog from Persona 2, I think, inspired a famous Undertale song, but I can't remember which one. Oh, that is Persona 4, and that was the song called The Fog. Yeah, that did inspire the famous Undertale song, Asgore. Yeah, you're right. Did they play Persona Q music? No, they played strictly Persona 5, Persona 3, as well as like a few Persona 5X songs, which, yeah, I already talked about my thoughts on that. Persona 5X music was really weird. It was such a, like, the crowd, they probably didn't mean to, but man, they were definitely not so hyped when Persona 5X came on the screen. I felt really bad because, you know, the singing and stuff. Lynn, wonderful as always, you know, knocked it out of the park when singing for those songs, but god damn. Maybe it just might have been because it was like a little underbaked, but I won't dive into that. If anyone wants to hear that, that's what the VOD is for. The Junes Dungeon is Mementos 1.0. Ooh, perhaps it could be a critique on consumerism. Ooh, I like it. Just like how that one dungeon in Strange Journey was. I think it was the second one. The second one. I forgot what it was called. Sector B or something. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. Thank you all so much for watching and listening to me ramble on about the Persona concert. God, what a great thing. It was so fun. It was so wonderful. For those that went there and enjoyed it, I'm glad that you were there, and I'm glad that you were able to bask in, you know, of course, like I said, while there's definitely, Alice would have to be stupid to not make more concerts, but despite that, this was legitimately a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It was, you know, once in a millennium, because to that point, we had never had a American Persona concert, so just that also might have been what made it like super magical too, because it's the first time. It's the first time any of this is happening. But yeah, it was magical. It was wonderful. I'm glad that you could have made it. If you could have made it. For those who are watching currently, as well as on the VOD, glad you were able to be there, dude. So much fun. And if you weren't there, there is definitely always next time. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, afternoon, evening, whatever it is in your neck of the woods. I hope it's a good one. And wait, before you go, are you going to Miku Expo? No, unfortunately, Sharp and Treat. But thank you so much for asking me. I like Miku. I'm definitely getting into her, especially thanks to Fortnite. But yeah, no plans to go to Miku Expo anytime soon. But I do appreciate you asking me. And with that, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. This pissed me off. Sorry. That's something that I manage to do all the time. I always piss everybody off. Later. I am a traitor. I am. I really am. I'm not a real Miku fan. I'm just a Fortnite fan. I wasn't in it for her. I wasn't in it for the leaks. I was in it for the dubs. I'm sorry. I let you all down. But now I must make my grand escape so that way I cannot face further scrutiny.